Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see it now. Yay, we are
Good,
live.
good you asked because we hadn't started. Okay, so it is redirecting
Yes.
and
So,
it is
hello everyone.
streaming. And we are live now. Can you see the live now?
Yeah,
Yes, I can.
it says it. It says it.
So hi guys, my name is Shweta and I'm a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness. And today I have with me the amazing Ryan T, who is like a facilitator for so many things. He's like, and I've had a chance of interacting with him for a bit. And like I said on the little intro that I gave you, that all of you saw and joined in, is that behind that shy face is potency, um, phenomenal potency, I would say. So, Ryan, would you like to tell us what today's call is about?
Today it's the title is called "What capacities are you refusing?"
Awesome. So, what does that mean?
So, uh, well, for those of you that are watching now or watching later, if this title attracts you here, then you definitely know you are hiding a lot of capacities. There are
Haha.
so many great things about you. There are so many beautiful things about you. And there are so many things that you are brilliant at that you can do that other people cannot do and other people can never figure out how to do, but you are always hiding them.
So, when you
And
say
well,
hiding them, what do you mean?
um, because a lot of us, we try so hard to be normal. We spend our entire life, all our energies. Well, it's not like 100% of our energies. We spend like maybe 120% of our energy to hide ourselves,
Guys,
to make us appear normal. Wait, are you
I
like
am. I'm
freezing
looking after
or?
that. Don't worry. I will look after it.
Okay.
Carry on.
So, um, do we do clearing here or not?
What do you know? Would you guys like some clearings with Ryan?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay, I get it. Yes. Okay. So for the rest of you, if you don't like the clearing that I'm doing tonight, blame her. Okay. So, and for those of you that are new, we do this strange thing called the SS Consciousness Clearing Statement. It's the right and wrong, good and bad, power and part, all nature's wise and beyonds. And so tonight we can definitely use the clearing statement to clear those energies that you have been using to hide you, to make you appear normal. Okay. So all of you, now let's ask yourself this question. So are you hiding your capacities? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, like a very loud yes. It's not just a yes, but it's like loud yes.
Yes.
So have you had enough of living this way? Like
Yes.
you actually know you can be far greater than what you are right now, but at the same time it's like it's so hard to reach there. Whenever you step out, like one step out of your so-called comfort zone, you feel like, oh my god, I feel so strange, so unusual, so many judgments coming my way. And so a lot of us, in the face of judgments, we hold ourselves back. Okay,
Right.
so everywhere that you're let judgment to defeat you,
Wow.
you let judgment to always be, you let other people's judgment to always be the reason why you cannot show up as you. Will you please destroy and create all of that?
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, right, wrong, good and bad, power and part, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. And that makes you laugh.
It does. It
So,
does.
so ask yourself this. Every time when people judge you, how do you feel? What do you do next? Or what is your reaction? Okay.
Ryan, sometimes I think it's not other people. I think it's myself. I judge myself.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, of course. And yes, a lot of us, we judge ourselves. And that's one big issue, I would say. I would say that's the main issue. Because if you don't judge you, when other people judge you, you will have no point of view. You will be like, okay, sure, feel free. Whatever
Oh,
you want to think about me, whatever that you want to say about me, who cares? right? I cannot control what goes in your mind. I cannot control what comes out from your mouth.
Yeah.
But if you judge you first, and when other people judge you, it triggers your self-judgment. Okay, so a lot of us, we always blame other people like, oh yeah, it's because of they are judging me. That's why I cannot show up as me. No, you didn't acknowledge that they judge you, but it triggered your self-judgment. Okay, so you are like you are you are aligning and agreeing with other people's judgments against you. So how many other people's judgments toward you that you are aligning and agreeing and buying and repeating yourself against you totally all the time, 24/7, even when you are asleep. Everything that is times a gazillion. Will now please this round credit all.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pop and pot, all nine, shorts, boys and beyonds. And that's really funny because it's supposedly not a happy thing, but I see a lot of you like smiling and laughing. What's going on? So
This is so cool what you just said, that if you don't judge you, then if someone else is judging you, you wouldn't really have a point of view.
yeah,
That that is so amazing. So could you also tell us, like, how do you start to recognize whether you are hiding capacities, whether you're, because um, we do keep hearing this in Access a lot, that you have potencies and you have capacities. So how does one begin to recognize you have capacities that you're not acknowledging? And what are X-Men capacities really? Would you like to elaborate a little on that, please?
okay, cool. So tonight this Zoom or Facebook Live is mainly about X-Men. So whether you are X-Men or not, you hide your capacities, put it this way, okay? But if you are X-Men, you have some capacities that no one understand, not even yourself, and everyone is judging. And of course, you align and agree, as we talked about just now. So as an X-Men, uh, we commonly the capabilities that we commonly know that X-Men have are those ADD, ADHD, OCD, and autism. Okay, like they sound like total wrongness, right? Yeah. Okay, so you see, that was a trick. That's when I said that sounds like a total wrongness. I can see some of you like nodding immediately.
Yeah.
You're like nodding unconsciously. Okay, what does that mean? It's because you already have that point of view. You align and agree with that. So when I say that's a wrongness, you're like yeah. Okay, so and if you think they are wrongness, you will try to hide that part about you. You will not claim and own and acknowledge that part of you. Okay, so actually they are not wrongness. They are your brilliance. They are your super awareness. Okay, so for example, let me use let's say ADD as an example. Okay, so people that with ADD, the wrongness is they cannot focus. Okay, but that is actually a greatness. If you have ADD, you are actually capable of doing multiple things at once. And a lot of you know you are actually capable of doing multiple things at once. When you are forced to do one thing at a time, step by step, you never get anything done. Yeah, you procrastinate, you judge yourself, you're like, I can't do this. So you actually need a few things ongoing at the same time for you to create more. So if that's true for you, yeah, you have ADD, okay? And for ADHD, like those people with hyperactive, again, it's being seen as a wrongness all the time. But if you look at those people with hyperactive, they are actually full of energy. And for a lot of us, we are like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I only wake up, I open my eyes, I now feel so tired. Okay. Yeah. So what if you can have like 1% of those ADHD? You will have a lot more energy. Okay. So everywhere that you're not willing to be hyperactive, and that require you to suppress a lot of your energy. And because of that, you make you so tired all the time. Will you please this round credit all?
Yes.
Oh, right. wrong, good and bad, pug and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
I think you'll have to say that one again. What did you say? Because I totally missed it. Now it's like, oh my God, yes, but what did he say?
Okay. Uh, I think I forgot. Let me see if I can remember.
You were talking
No, I
about,
cannot remember.
you were saying something about having enough energy, like everything that doesn't allow you to have enough energy and function with that energy.
Right. Okay, so if you have children, okay, or maybe not your own children, if you look at those children, they are always full of energy.
Yeah.
They are running around, yelling and screaming, full of energy. And a lot of those children, of course, the adults will feel like, oh my God, I don't know what to do with you. You are such a like uncontrollable fireball.
Yeah.
Okay, so the adults, those slow people, okay, let's call them slow people. Those, so the adults will always project at those kids like, oh my God, you are too hyperactive. Okay, you should just sit down and be quiet. Then then everything will be good. Okay, so those kids, they receive all these judgments from adults all the time. Um, and especially for X-Men, okay, if you are X-Men, when people judge you, it feels so intense. Okay, even though they don't sound loud, they just have a judgment in their mind. You can perceive it. You know someone is judging you. So all of you, how many of you always know when someone is judging you, even though they are far away, they are not with you, or maybe for some of them they pretend they are not judging you. You know, for example, like people in Access, you know, because of we all have learned that we shouldn't judge, right? So how many of you have Access friends that judge you? That makes you all laugh, right? You have Access friends that judge you, and they pretend they are not judging you. They deny that they are judging you, but you always know they are judging you. Okay, yeah, because you perceive it. It's very real. It's very intense. Okay, so now let's not talk about those Access people. Okay, so let's go back to children and adults. So those children, they receive a lot of judgments from everyone. They're like, oh, okay, I shouldn't have that much energy. Okay, I should be just like them, feel tired, and that's normal. Okay, so when you buy into those points of view, you will try to suppress the hyperactive capability that you have to make you appear normal so that your mommy will be happy or your daddy will be happy or whoever else, maybe the school teacher will be happy. Okay,
Oh my
so
God.
yeah, you can perceive the energy touch, like the heavy feeling, the heaviness that we talk about, like you can perceive them now. So how many of you suppress your energy, your awareness, your awareness and your brilliance, um and your speed to make those slow people happy? They will never be happy. Okay, everything that is times a gazillion will now please this round credit all.
Yes, yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, hot and hot, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. Let me make it more fun. Okay, so how many of you suppress your awareness, your brilliance, your talents, and your speed to make those slow people called your parents happy? Everything that is times a gazillion will now please this round credit all. Right, wrong, good and bad, hot and hot, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. What if your parents complaining about you being too fast is a great thing? And whenever they complain that you are too fast, be even faster. Then you don't have to suppress your super ability, your super speed.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone say
I
LOL.
think it's the other way around also, Ryan, where so many times we have children who are so fast and who are so brilliant, and when we can't keep up with them, so many times I've seen, particularly in this reality, like when I see parents can't handle their hyperactive child, they'll actually like I know somebody whose child has been so distracted with studies and he just can't sit right? But this was detected like 5 6 years ago. Like we knew this since that this kid was a toddler. Like he would just keep running around picking things up and playing with things, and mostly because he would end up messing things up because he was curious, he was intrigued. And now that the child is a teenager, and now it's so difficult to see that he can't concentrate in studies, he's messed up in school, he was pulled out of school thinking that he's going to do better at home, then he couldn't handle that, lost his friends, then got into some kind of drugs, and now he's labeled ADD. And I know this kid personally and I love him so much, and it's so difficult to see that the parents don't know what to do. They take him to the doctor, the doctors put him on medication, and it's cruel, literally. And I feel so helpless. So I wonder how many other parents are going through this kind of a thing. So not only was this done to us in different ways, not only in the particular way that you're saying, but how many of us are doing it to our children, even if they're
Yeah,
not labeled these things?
I know,
Like
I know.
someone's asking on the group, why is it always that we talk about only these things? So I want to ask you, even if you're not labeled, even if it is about the regular day-to-day things where the child is not able to concentrate, and how do you tackle this, how do you start to recognize, and how do you change that?
Um, well, you talk about quite a few things here.
I know.
Let me see where can
That's
I start. I need to be more ADD and ADHD to catch up with you.
oh,
All right. So first thing first. Okay. So most of our parents, they treat us the way their parents treat them. So how their parents treat them, and that's how they treat you, because they don't know any other options. Okay. And so, and most people, we don't have a family that really understand us. We don't really have a family that empower us. Okay. And so are they and their parents and their parents. And so that's your grandparents. So for all of you with children, so everywhere that you become your mom or you become your dad when it comes to parenting, the way you treat your children, wow, is how your parents treated you, and you feel like you don't have other choices. Will you please destroy and credit all? Oh, and everywhere that you judge you for not having other choices as well. Oh, will you please destroy and create all of that? Right,
yeah.
wrong, good and bad, pop and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So if you judge you for not doing anything different, it's because you know that isn't working and you know something else is possible, just that you haven't found it yet. Okay, so in order to have a different way to treat your children, ask a question. The purpose of question is to get awareness. Okay, so a very good question that I always give parents is this: when you were a kid, okay, like long time ago. Okay, for me that was 3 years ago. No, that's not funny. Okay, so so when you were a kid, how did you want your parents to treat you that you didn't get? Can you now be that for your children? Okay, so you treat your children how you wish you were treated, not how you were actually treated when you were a kid. And that will start changing things. Okay, and there is no right or wrong way here, because every child is different. Okay, so everywhere that, so all of you parents, everywhere that you try to teach or educate or you treat or interact with your children according to how other people are doing it. And so you keep looking toward other people to find the right way, and you never find the right way for you, and you judge you. Will you please destroy and create it all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pop and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. This is not a conversation that I planned, but I can feel like a lot of you, I don't really know you all or see you all, but I can feel like a lot of you are parents, and you know your children, they are different. And you have no idea what to do with them. You're like, oh my God, my children, oh, okay, they are so strange. um, so many months ago, earlier this year, that was before the corona, that's BC. Okay, I like to call that BC, not before Christ, but before corona. uh, I did a class, I did the X-Men class in Korea. And in that class, what came out in that class was that the parents, because of they didn't know how to educate or treat their next generation, they shut the possibilities for their children. Okay, so all of you, how many doors of possibilities that your child has or had that has been shut by you? And I'm saying this not to make you wrong, not to make you feel bad, please no. Okay, the purpose of why we are talking about it right now is so that we can trigger this energy, bring it up to the surface and clear it. Okay, so how many doors of possibilities that your children had or have that you have no had that had been shut off by you, by your unwillingness to acknowledge their differences. Everything that is times a godzillion will now please destroy and create it all. Right, wrong, good and bad, up and pound, all nine short spots and beyonds. This is actually not an easy conversation because even though I remind you the purpose of this conversation is not to make you feel wrong, I can feel a lot of you like feeling wrong. No, okay, please get over those judgments, okay? Because if you keep judging you, your children will perceive that heaviness in you and from you. And sometimes they think it's theirs, okay? So if you get over all these judgments, you no longer feel guilty, it will create more ease for you and your children, okay? If you keep judging you, will never be a contribution to them. Hashtag, you keep judging you. No, that's too long for
Amazing. That
hashtag.
is so
Meme, let's call it a meme. You keep judging you will never be a contribution to your children. Okay.
love.
Where are you, Shweta? Oh, I can see you now. Okay.
Yeah, I
Because you
love
jump
this.
to a different
You
screen.
keep judging you will never be a contribution. I'm just going to type that out to your kids because so many times when you've done something that you feel wasn't the right choice, particularly after the conversation we are having, and so many times like in my facilitation sessions also when I see parents come and say, I've done this and I've done that and I can't get over it. This is such a beautiful thing that you just said, is that if you don't get interesting point of view with your judgment, then automatically your child taps into that judgment and starts to think he's wrong. So thank you for
Yeah.
that. And that is enough reason for any parent to get rid of the
Yes.
judgments that they have of
Yes.
themselves. Thank
Yes.
you, Ryan.
Yeah. So if I ask all of you, how much of those heaviness that you have been perceiving, you had you perceive in the past and still perceiving, okay? How many of those heaviness belong to your parents? Like how many of those came from your parents? Okay. Now you can
Oh
you will
my
say, oh my
God.
God, that's a lot. So it will be the same. If you are a parent now and you hold into all these self-judgments, your kids will perceive the same thing. And then they'll feel like, oh my God, I feel so wrong. And they never ask who does that belong to, just like their parents.
I
Because
love it.
who does that belong to is the number one tool that almost everyone avoid. You think it's too simple, too easy. Everyone understand it, but no one really use it. So you don't ask who does that belong to, and your kids probably don't ask who does that belong to as well. They learn it from you.
Amazing. And that
They,
question that
we call
Bindya
it
was
what?
asking,
Like,
the thing that we were
huh?
talking about right at the beginning of the call, where Bindya was
Yeah,
asking that I keep judging me. It's not that other people are judging me. Oh my God, I just like, I haven't asked like how many judgments do I have of myself that probably belong to my parents. Oh my God. It's such
yeah.
an eye.
It could be they were judging you, or it could be they judging themselves, and you thought it's about you.
Yes.
Okay, and sometimes it's because of we have this kindness toward other people. We wish other people would stop judging themselves. So sometimes we take over their heaviness and their self-judgments. Hopefully they will stop hurting themselves that way. So how many of you, whenever you see someone having self-destructive behavior, and when I say behavior, I don't really mean like real behavior. It could be mentally a mental behavior. A self-judgment would be a mental behavior. So how many of you, when you notice or sense or perceive people around you doing self-destructive behavior, you do everything you can to take that over, to try to stop it for them. Everything that doesn't allow you to have ease. When it comes to this issue, will you please destroy and create it all? Right, wrong, good and bad, power and power, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds.
And
one thing that I know is kids do that.
Could that also be an X-Men capacity? You trying to take it away from people?
Yeah. So with X-Men, because they are very aware, they are super aware. So let's say we are aware of 10 people around us. Okay, those X-Men, they will be aware of maybe 100 people around them. Okay, so they will pick up a lot of thoughts, feelings, emotions, judgments, and self-destructive behavior from other people. And sometimes they misidentify and misapply those things as theirs. Okay. So, and if you're an X-Men, sometimes asking who does that belong to doesn't quite work for you. I've talked about this in quite many of my free Zoom. You heard we talk about this thing called who does that belong to, and then but for a lot of you, okay, especially if you are X-Men, whenever you ask who does that belong to, you feel like I don't get anything. Okay, it's because you perceive too many people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Okay, so it's hard for you to say who does that belong to. It's like it's from a million people, a million other people. You're like, oh my God, I don't even know where does it come from. Okay, so the solution for you will be changing that question a little bit to truth. Is this mine? You don't know where it's from or from whom it came from, but you definitely know it's not yours. Okay, so for a lot of you, by asking, is that mine or is that not mine, that gives you more ease.
That is brilliant. Okay. That is so cool. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions? Ryan is coming up with this amazing class on Sunday. It's a one-day class on X-Men. Ryan, would you? What time are we starting?
Shweta, I have a question. Can I say?
I was just finishing this, and sure, you can ask your question.
Okay.
That there is a class that's coming up that he's doing on Sunday, and it's a full-day class which is on X-Men Capacities. So we'll tell you more about that if by the end of the call, and go for your question, Preeti.
Yeah, thank you. So Ryan, you're talking about hyperactivity, and I've seen that in my son right from childhood. He used to run around, and I have been in allowance of that. Now, what I want to ask is, now he's 12 years old. So how does that? Now I am little unsure how that hyperactivity and attention. Like he has been diagnosed with ADHD. The school had told me to do the report. So only this year I got it done. Although like I had an awareness that there is, he has this energy thing, and I've not put him on medication. I'm using the access tools. So I want to know now as a teenage, he's 13 now, how does it show? Because I don't like, as a young little child, it was very obvious he used to run around. Okay. So now I do not know. And how I be a contribution to him?
So does he practice access? Like, does he know all these tools?
Yes. He has done bars. He gives bars. We trade bars basically. Yeah. So he used the tools.
That will be easy. Okay. Some people, they have children that don't like access tools, and then maybe to fight against their parents, so they intentionally not to use those tools. But if your child, if your son use access tools, that's easy. Okay. Let him know there's definitely nothing wrong about him. Okay. And when I say definitely nothing wrong about him, that require you not to buy into all these judgments. Okay. If you have bought into all these judgments, you hold on to this energy of, oh my God, that's a wrongness. And then with your mouth, and then you say to him like, hey son, there's nothing wrong about you. It will not work. Because as an X-Men, he function energetically, mainly energetically. So if you say something that doesn't match the energy you be, he will perceive it, and then he will feel really confused. He'll be like, my mom told me that I'm not wrong, but the energy that she be is, I'm wrong. Okay, that will not work.
Okay.
So all the points of view that we have bought, all the judgments that we have bought about all these labels like ADD, ADHD, OCD, autism, and what they mean and what to do with these people, let's destroy and create all of that on 3. So not just for ourselves, but wherever that we can reach right now on 3 to clear all these judgments. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. And again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, wow. So when you can talk to him truly from the space of I'm not judging you, there's nothing wrong about you, then it will be easier. Because if you have judgments, he will sense it and then he will naturally like fight against or defend. Okay, so a lot of parents, they ask me, my children, they don't listen to me. They always fight against me. Yeah, it's because you are judging. If you judge, they will always fight against. They will fight back. They will defend against you. Okay, so always clear the judgment that you have. And since your son practice access, let him know, don't buy into those points of view from school teachers or whoever else around him. Because no one will really understand him. The whole world, this world is designed this way. This world is designed to try to make everyone fit in and be the same. School system, well, even though we call it a school system, but it's not really a system. A system is something that supposedly support you to grow. A school is a structure. You have to fit in. Okay. If you don't fit in, you are being judged as wrong. Okay, so that's education system in this reality. It's to make everyone fit in and be the same like everyone else, so that they can be controlled. Okay, and this will be very, very hard for those X-Men kids because X-Men, they are definitely uncontrollable. Okay, so since he knows all these access tools, share more tools with him, like interesting point of view, who does that belong to, then he will have more ease. Okay.
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
Oh, and then for his ADD, ADHD, empower him to do more. Okay. So I believe everyone around him, or maybe in school, people would judge him like, okay, you shouldn't do that many things. You should focus on one thing. Okay, ADD, ADHD, these are wrongness. Okay, so you should do one thing at a time. So it will not be easy for him. Okay, but if you empower him and support him and encourage him to do more, he will feel like you are the one that really understand him. You are the one that knows what he is about. Okay, so that will make it easier for both of you to have any communication or interaction. Okay, so let him know he doesn't have to slow down. He doesn't have to do one thing at a time, or like all the other kids. Empower him to do as many things as he likes.
So while studying, if the TV is on, it's okay. If he's doing his study work and like he wants to listen to a song and like watch the TV, is that okay? That's what you are saying? Because when you say multiple things, that's what I mean. It and I would say, okay, focus on your studies. You know, so I mean that's what like you're trying to tell me.
In this world right now, there are more and more X-Men. Okay, but so a lot of these children, this new generation, they are definitely X-Men. But even for ourselves, when we were a kid, long time ago, okay, when your parents force you to turn off the TV, turn off the music, to only focus on your homework, you felt so stuck. When you had music, when you had TV on, even though like you were not really watching or listening, but you actually required that. Okay, you require multiple input, music, some images or something, so that you can keep doing your homework. You know why? Because the homework, it was way too boring. Okay. So you need to have multiple input and output, and you do a lot of things, and then you can do your homework easily. And when your parents say, you are not watching the TV anyway, why are you like having it on? Turn it off. And immediately you feel so stuck. You're like, yeah, I cannot do my homework now after you switch off the TV. Okay. Yeah. So let him do that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. And in adolescence, how does it come out? Like as a child, they are running around. It's very obvious. So as they are teens, how is it manifested in behaviors?
I don't understand what do you mean as their team or
When I say like as when he was small, I could sense, I mean, I could obviously see he's running around all over the house,
Mhm.
jumping on the chairs. And I had this climbing frame where, it was specially bought for him, where he would go up and down that climbing frame. And
Mhm.
so that was very obvious for me, to see that he's having hyperactivity. And now
Mhm.
as a teenager, how does it, how is it shown in his behavior? I don't find that he's I will not say he's slowed down, but yeah, that hyperactiveness has gone. The running around and the jumping, he has definitely more energy. He's
Mhm.
so in otherwise, other than that, how does it show like in behavior?
Can I answer that?
Is that
Okay.
a question for this call, Ryan, or is that something that you would like to take up in the class that you're doing on?
Well, I will go on as long as I like until I'm
I
bored.
wonder because this is something which is like a huge topic, Preeti, and I'm sure Ryan is like really he can go on for another couple of hours. I'm like, would it really be kinder to actually join the class on Sunday? And what do you say, Ryan?
Yeah, there are certain things that it takes longer time than a short conversation or a few talk and pod because I need to explain a few more things. And so this Sunday I'm doing this one day class. It's called the Access X-Men, the Undiscovered Possibility. It comes with a manual, and so in that class we will go deep into all these different capability that has been judged as wrongness, and so that people can realize this number one is not a wrongness and number two is a greatness, is a capability, so that it becomes something that you can use, you can be. Okay, so for example, with myself, I'm actually very proud of myself being autistic, but I don't think anyone would believe that I'm autistic now, but actually I am. and uh, and I'm so proud of myself being one of those. Okay, because I know a lot of what I can do right now is because of I'm an X-Men. Okay, so at first, so those X-Men at first they feel wrong, and then after that they come out from wrongness, and then after that they can fully claim, own, and acknowledge their brilliance, their capability.
Yeah.
Okay, then they will feel proud.
And I also want to ask you whether it is only for people who want to ask you questions on these particular subjects like OCD or I don't know. Did you say OCD also? Because is that an X-Men capacity also? I don't know where I read that, but
Yes, you said
if
that.
that is also included. But how much of how much okay, let me reframe the question. Like, would it be open for people who do not want to particularly address this, as well as for people who are particularly addressing? Like, Preeti had so many questions, which was such a contribution to everyone here. Thank you for asking those, Preeti. And who all can attend this class is basically my question.
Everyone.
Okay, so
So,
you
for
don't have
example,
to have that kind of a
okay, okay,
label or
let me explain it this way. So, for some of you, you have children, maybe your own children that are with these special abilities. Okay, or maybe you are a teacher, or maybe caretaker or therapist that you handle all these special children. Okay, so and then number two, a lot of us, even though we are not special children, but we are actually special adults. Okay, so you were special children in the special child in the past, and now you are special adult. Okay, uh, you know you are very different, but no one can ever tell you or acknowledge you this way. So, and in this class, you will realize. So you will realize that whatever that you have been, or and that you are still be, they are. It's definitely not a wrongness. Okay, and so you will learn all these tools to empower yourself and also to empower those kids and to communicate with them with ease, because they communicate very differently. Okay, they communicate with energy, and for a lot of the time they don't like to communicate with us is because we are too slow. You think you are fast. Yes, I get that. You are faster than a lot of people around you. When you see those slow people, you feel like you want to kill them. You're like, oh my God, you are so slow. Okay. And those new generation, younger generation X-Men, they are even faster. They look at you, they're like, oh my God, you are so slow. Okay. So if you realize this is all ability, you will step into this ability. So you step up, you'll be more and more of being an X-Men, and you become faster and faster and faster. Okay. So the only way out, the only solution, okay, is you being more of an X-Men. Okay, that's you being you.
Amazing.
Okay, so it's and some people, they actually have doubts. People come to my class and then they're like, I don't think I'm an X-Men. My entire life, I feel like I'm very slow, I'm very stupid, I'm very dumb. I don't think I'm an X-Men, but somehow they still feel like they want to come to the class for whatever reason. And then they realize, oh my God, I'm actually an X-Men. Okay, the dumbness, the stupidity or slowness is just how we buy into this reality, and then we use that as a way to hide our difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of you, I think this might be the last clearing. Not because I don't like you, because I have another class to attend very soon. I'm attending the SOP starting in 14 minutes from now. So all of you, what's your best way to hide you?
Oopsie.
What's your personal best way to hide you? Okay. Well, judgment, of course, one of them, like buying into your, like thinking you are slow or thinking you are dumb or whatever. Okay, everyone has your own personal way. Whatever that is, will you please display and credit all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, hot and hot, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So what's your best way of hiding you, and what's your best way of diminishing you? Everything that is times a gazillion. We will now please display and credit all.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, hot and hot, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. I think we can just keep repeating this one for another like 10 weeks.
Put that on a loop before they come to your class.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
I know.
If you are coming to this class, I would highly recommend you run this, put this on the loop or read it a lot, because if you come to the actual class and still holding on to like your best way of hiding you, yeah, of course it will be changed in the class. But if you let go of that now, when you come to that class, you bring new energy to the class. You come to the class with higher or bigger demand and a new ask, like, okay, I'm now like willing to step up and be seen and show up. I no longer need to hide me. I no longer need to diminish me. Then the class will be like even more exciting, even more interesting, even more faster. Okay. So
amazing. This was such an awesome conversation and such a contribution, Ryan. I'm so grateful that you chose to come on and contribute in this way. I think so much has changed in my world already. So I hope everyone here received so much. And I wonder what can change with this class on 26th with Ryan. I don't have words, literally, because so much has melted in my world already. Trust me, because normally I'm this bubbly and chirpy person when I'm talking to people, but there is so much peace just with these few clearings that you ran. There is peace, and I've been looking at so many judgments come up, particularly with this lockdown that's been going on, with how we're functioning, how we should be functioning, how things are not happening. So really, I'm looking forward to this class, and it is on 26th, guys. So all of you in India, if you want to reach out, you can reach out to me or to Ryan directly. I will put the link up on the Showing Up As You group and all the other Indian groups. Just feel free to reach out, and please take it as a personal recommend. Choose this class. It is not very expensive either. It's just what, $292,
well,
$293.
so I understand that for a lot of people it's expensive. I get that. I won't say it's not expensive. Okay. Okay, put it this way. There are a lot of classes that are even more expensive, and there are a lot of classes that are cheaper. Okay, so it's very hard for you to say, is it expensive or not expensive?
Probably.
even
Depending
if
on
you,
what you might receive.
yeah, but even though you think it's expensive,
Yeah.
but if you compare to you having you,
Yeah.
there's no price for that. Okay. So this is a class that, as the title suggests, the undiscovered possibility. And this possibility is not something external. This possibility is you. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can discover more about yourself. Okay. So that's my invitation for all of you. Okay. Truly.
Amazing.
So,
I'm so in for this class. This is like so awesome. And thank you again. So guys, thank you.
so I want to ask Shweta, will this benefit a parent whose child has Down syndrome or cerebral palsy? Is that also an X-Men capacity?
I'll let Ryan answer that.
Yes. Yes. These are X-Men capacities. Just that we are more commonly talking about the ADD, ADHD, OCD, and autism, but there are a lot of other things that are also X-Men capacities. Okay, and actually we don't have just one of them. So it's not like you are only ADD or only OCD or only this or that. Okay, a lot of us, we have multiple of all these. So for example, let me do it very quickly before we end this Zoom. Okay, so go with light and heavy or your instant yes or no. So truth, do you have ADD? Okay, so truth, do you have ADHD? Truth, do you have OCD? Truth, do you have autism? Okay, you might get yes to all of them. And truth, do you have something else I haven't mentioned?
Okay.
So yeah, you get it's a yes. Okay, so there are actually a lot of things.
Yeah. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. This is I mean I got a yes to all of them, which is very funny. Very strange.
Yeah, yeah. But and for some of you, you're like you still have doubt. Like, really? Do I have that?
Yeah. So cool, so cool. And this is it's like no, I don't have words, so I'm just going to shut up.
Me too.
Cool. So you have your class and everyone else who's going to be on the SOP. It's starting very soon. So we're going to say bye now. And the replay is on the Showing Up As You group. And maybe Ryan,
Yeah.
if Ryan sends me the recording, then I will send it out to you guys too.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
you're invited for this class. It starts at 8 a.m. India time on Sunday, 26th. And reach out to me, reach out to Ryan, and have fun with your X-Men capacities, guys. You don't have to hide them anymore.
Oh, by the way, just to mention, so I will be attending this SOP in my nighttime. So it's actually my 10:30 p.m. until, I don't know, next morning, 5 or 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And so for this X-Men class, it will be, I think, the day 3 of this SOP. So you might feel this class can be a little bit intense. Okay, I just finished the day 3 of SOP and then I'm coming to the X-Men class. So just a warning. Okay.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. So grateful. And thank
Thank
you guys.
you.
You can unmute yourselves and say hi to Ryan or bye to Ryan, whatever works for you. If that's light, unmute yourselves if you want. And before we end, we can say hi and bye quickly. Would you like
Bye.
that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tracy.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
everyone. Thank you
guys.
for joining. Thank you for watching. And thank you for receiving.
Thanks, Shweta.
Thank you, guys.
And
you.
thank you, Shweta, for
Bye.
hosting this. Okay. Bye-bye.
Good pleasure. Bye bye. See you guys.